Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. This is Market Today. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me Shail Bhatnagar. Well, remember that the Nifty ended absolutely flat last week, having given up all its gains after Friday's big sell-off. The Sensex and the Nifty had ended 1% lower on Friday amid a broad-based sell-off. And as we begin the new truncated week of trade, new worries have also come to grip the markets, with geopolitical tensions taking center stage right now. The question is, could these derail the markets from their upward journey? We'll find out more on this special edition as we quiz our top market experts over the next 90 minutes. Good morning to all our viewers and good morning to you, Shail.
A very good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. It's a fresh start to the week. This is a truncated week as far as trading is concerned, and an extremely heavy event week loaded with earnings of Infosys, earnings of HDFC Bank on Thursday and Friday respectively. Wednesday, April 17th is a holiday, and on Friday again, which is April 19th, you'll see the dance of democracy beginning. About 102 seats out of 543 as far as the Lok Sabha national elections are concerned go to vote. Let's just analyze the market in some detail. You see the Nifty right there in front of you. 22,519 is where the index shut shop. This is almost at the day's low as far as the markets are concerned on Friday, 22,503. And the weekend tensions between Israel and Iran are impacting both Asian markets and GIFT Nifty. Now, if there is a gap down, which is somewhere like 100 points, 75 points, you see 22,400 being operational on the Nifty. That will be an intraday buy zone. So let's hope for the positives that you have a dip. You've already corrected 234 points on Friday. A 100-point gap down today because of geopolitical tensions and all sorts of other issues will bring the Nifty down to 22,400, which is where the 20 EMA, the exponential moving average, comes into the picture. So a dip towards that 22,400, 22,350 if available is something that needs to be purchased as far as the intraday moves are concerned. We'll just also look at the events that are lined up, especially today, 2:30 p.m. The IMD, the Meteorological Department of the Government of India, will come up with its monsoon forecast. The one by Skynet is already in place. That was on Thursday. Therefore, good monsoon is expected because we already have an indication of it being 102% of the long-term average. Apart from that, I think the most important index to watch today will be the IT index, simply because of earnings that have come in by the top software exporter, TCS. Very, very strong set of earnings, especially the deal flow that has come in. Although the US market and the BFSI space, which is the largest sector and the largest geography that TCS works in, are weak, but it is the number from the UK that has heartened analysts. So the IT index is something that I'm looking forward to. It has done nothing since March 20th, round flat, and the same thing is happening on TCS. Apart from that, you have some very interesting things coming up. You have the inflation data, you have the weekly CPI number that will be coming up, and that's the reason why it's going to be a very, very event heavy week for the Nifty. A holiday right in the middle, April 17th. Therefore, premium, which is the options premium, will remain squeezed. As far as the Bank Nifty is concerned, it took support at 48,500. The range was somewhere 405 points between the high and low on Friday, and again it's the 10 EMA that will become operational the moment you see a gap down, 48,250. That's what I'm looking at. The HDFC Bank earnings will be coming on Friday, April 19th. So the market is likely to be in pause mode. Sakshi.
Right. Let's also look at how the global market cues are shaping up. Remember, there are multiple factors that could threaten a further correction in the markets. Remember, US market sold off once again on Friday. The S&P 500 saw its worst day of trade since January. The Dow Jones also fell nearly 500 points in trade. Remember, the Fed rate cut uncertainty is backed, and that is rearing its head amidst persistently high inflation in the United States. Adding to that is the stronger dollar and, of course, the rising treasury yields and the commodity commodity prices. All the three major indices, the Dow Jones, the Nasdaq and the S&P 500, lost over 1% in trade, with the Nasdaq slipping the most of 1.6% in trade as well. And of course, this was escalated by the geopolitical tensions in the Middle East as far as the advances are also concerned. Now, when we talk about the flare-up in the Middle East, remember Iran has launched hundreds of drones as well as cruise missiles at Israel. And Israel has said, however, that damage was minimal up until so far, but the world is awaiting what its next course of action will be, and therefore the uncertainty is large. Following this over the weekend kind of a development, Asian markets were trading lower on Monday morning as traders weighed the impact of Iran's drone attack on Israel, and they will also focus on the key economic data that will be coming in from Japan and China later this week. So we are seeing that the Nikkei is down by over 1%, 1.2% lower in trade. Kospi is down by over 1% as well. Hang Seng is down by 0.75%. Only Shanghai is trading higher at this point in time by over 1%. Trends in the gift Nifty are indicating a weak start for the markets today. 134 points of a loss is what it is indicating, or a 0.6% of a fall for the beginning of the session for the Indian markets. As far as the foreign investors are concerned, remember they were heavy sellers in cash market, while domestic investors tried to offset heavy selling pressure. FIIs have been net sellers for the 4 out of the last 5 trading sessions in the week gone by, and the net outflow has stood at 6,526 odd crore rupees. April 12th definitely witnessed a huge sell-off of 8,027 odd crore rupees on the fears of changes in the India-Mauritius tax treaty. But you did see that the DIIs, they bought about 341 odd crore rupees worth of stocks in the Indian markets. Let's also look at some of the key stocks that you need to keep an eye out on. The first one will be TCS. Remember, the company came out with the earnings after the market hours. So the first stock that we will be tracking is this one. It reported a 9% increase in the consolidated profit at 12,434 crores, while its margins were also highest in 12 quarters at 26% out. But the weakness came in from the headcount front as it dipped for the first time annually in 19 years, third straight quarter of declining employee count over there for the company. The deal wins, however, were worth about $13.2 billion. That was a record as well. So we will be looking at how TCS will be reacting. There are brokerage houses reports that have taken the prices higher and have given bullish reports post the earnings of TCS. Anand Rathi Wealth, here the company also reported revenue growth of 35% for the quarter at 752 odd crore rupees. The profit after tax also increased by 34 odd percent. AUM increased by 50 odd percent for the company. The company has also announced a buyback of equity shares, and that will be key to watch out for in the coming days as well. For the company, Aster DM Healthcare, that's another one I'm watching out for. The company has declared a special dividend of 118 rupees per share post the receipt of proceeds from the sale of its GCC business. The special dividend will be paid within 30 days from the day of declaration. Senco Gold, that's achieved a 28% revenue growth for fiscal year 2024 and 39% from last year for the March quarter as well. Despite the rising gold prices, the company has achieved 13% volume growth in gold and 19% volume growth in diamond for the full year. As far as the real estate space is concerned, Kolte Patil is what I'll be watching out for. It's reported highest ever annual sales in the value of 2,822 crores. That's a growth of 26% from the last year. Highest ever annual sales volumes of 3.9 million square feet. That's up 20% year on year as well. And the company has launched projects with the gross development value of 3,800 crores during the fiscal year. The collections were higher by 9% since last year, but the realizations are down by 5% for the company. Sterlite Technologies is something I'll be watching out for. Here, the company has raised 1,000 odd crore rupees through its QIP, and the issue price has been fixed at 113.05 rupees per equity share, a 5% discount to the floor price of 119. Power Grid will be in focus. The company will be considering raising up to 12,000 odd crore rupees via NCDs on a private placement basis, and the board meeting is slated for April 17 when this will be coming up for consideration. RVNL from the Railways pack is in focus. The company has received a letter of acceptance for the works in connection with the new project line of Araria, and the project cost is 95 odd crore rupees. The last one that I'll be watching out for in the stocks to watch list is Zaggle Prepaid. The company has signed an agreement with Eversup India to provide employee expense and benefits management platform Zaggle Save. So these are some of the stocks that I'm watching out for. Share. Zaggle Save. So these are some of the stocks that I'm watching out for. Share.
I think one of the most important developments that needs to be looked into is the political manifesto for the forthcoming elections from the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party. A whole host of sectors have been highlighted for you, given the thrust that the government of India, the present government of India, is likely to see as far as June 4th onwards is concerned. I'll just highlight some sectors which might be in action today. Starting with housing, the manifesto promises 3 crore new homes. Therefore, you will see a lot of housing finance companies such as HUDCO, a lot of cement majors such as Ambuja, Ultratech, a whole host of mid-cap cement players, as also steel players doing a lot of hectic activity as far as markets are concerned. The other very interesting things that the stock markets, from the stock market perspective, is of course the establishment of the India Middle East Economic Corridor. Therefore, shipping companies such as SCI, port stocks such as Adani, GPPL, railway companies such as RITES will be in focus. You have a strategic partnership for mineral security that the manifesto has highlighted. Therefore, stocks like Hind Copper, stocks like GMDC, other mining stocks, NALCO. The other thing is positioning the country as a global manufacturing and transportation hub as far as railway is concerned. Therefore, 6 stocks that we always look at: IRFC, IRCTC, RITES, IRCON, so on and so forth. From the MNC space, Siemens; from the wagon space, Titagarh and Texmaco. Apart from that, you have the global aviation theme running in the BJP manifesto. Therefore, you will be looking at stocks like Hindustan Aeronautics as far as defense is concerned, Dynamatic Technologies, which makes aircraft doors, BEL, Midhani and PTC Industries. So these are the broader themes that I am looking at as far as the manifesto is concerned. And given the Israel-Iraq tensions that have sort of blown sky high over the weekend, I think stocks such as BEL, Midhani, Hindustan Aeronautics, as also the shipbuilders will be in focus. Sakshi.
Right. Let's again look at some of the top brokerage houses reports this morning. JP Morgan has come up with a report on TCS. It's upgraded the company to overweight with a target price of 4,500 from 4,000 earlier. So that's the one that we'll be watching out for. On ONGC, Jefferies has initiated the coverage with a buy rating and a target price of 390 rupees. It believes that the reforms in the crude and the oil gas pricing have actually improved the company's profitability above the past decade averages, and therefore they see strong FCF or free cash flow generation and consolidated net debt reduction on the profitable production growth over FY24 to FY26. So that's a positive report coming in on ONGC. On Exide batteries, again, Morgan Stanley has come out with an overweight call with a target price that they have raised to 485 rupees. Remember, the currently price is somewhere under 400 rupees, about 398 rupees. At the company's share price, they believe, could rise significantly over the next 10 years, and the company could become a leading player in the battery cell localization is what they believe in. So positive brokerage report coming in on that one too. Last 1 week we've actually seen 5.5% higher for Exide batteries. Now when we talk about Dixon Technologies, HSBC has come out with a report on this one with a buy call, and target has been raised to 8,400 rupees. The company is about to acquire a majority stake in Transition Holdings India Assembly unit, and therefore they expect the company to more than double its revenue over the next 2 years, and they also expect the profit growth to be higher than the revenue growth as well. So those are the 2 triggers that they are watching out for. Again, apart from this, Kotak Institutional has come out with a report on Cyient TLM. They've initiated a sell call on this one with a target of 570. They believe the company offers electronics manufacturing services for mission critical applications and EMS such as industries and aerospace, defense and medical technologies, but they expect the company's revenue growth to be dwindling over the next FY23 to 26 odd as well. On Zomato, when we talk about, UBS has come out with a report here with a buy call and a target price that's raised to 250 rupees. They believe the company's quick commerce growth and margin potential are underappreciated. So these are some of the stocks that are on top brokerage houses radar this morning. Share.
Okay. Mr. Ratnesh Goel, Senior Technical and Research Analyst at Arihant Capital Markets, has joined us. A very warm good morning to you, sir. Your two stocks that you're looking for today.
Some down opening, but I believe that was somewhere around 22,400 and 22,300 will be the good support. So I believe that it will be it could be the good opportunity to buy. So I believe that I have the two buying stock definitely for the day or for the, you can say, the for short to medium term. The first one is the CDSL. CDSL has given the good consolidation breakout. So I believe that this momentum will remain continuous. So here is the conditional buy from my side that one should buy above the 2020 with the stop loss 1980 for the target 2070 and 2100. And second one, Exide Industry. Exide Industry has given the a very long consolidation. You can say the 1 or 2 year consolidation breakout. So this rally will remain continue for the some more time. So I believe that this Exide will be a good buy. Around one should buy above the 402 for the target 430 with the stop loss 380.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what we'll do is we'll look at pre-open rates now, and the number is a little odd, so I will not mark the Nifty. What I'll do is we'll look at some other stocks that are moving as far as the index is concerned. Sakshi, why don't you just look at the numbers? I'll just set some software stock at my end.
All right, so 22,021, that's a level at which we are looking at the Nifty. A very sharp fall, 650 points lower. I hope this is not true, but the first ticks in the pre-opening trade do indicate that the markets could be off for a huge sell-off in the morning trade itself. 2.5% lower. It's settling down. Briefly, we also saw the Nifty slipping below the 22,000 mark as well. Let's look at the stocks and let's let the Nifty settle for a bit to see how the other stocks are moving. Let's look at TCS, and then let's look at the heavyweight counters, Infosys. We'll also look at Reliance Industries, HDFC Bank, 4-5 top counters, and then we will go on to all the stocks. So 0.5% lower is what is being indicated as far as TCS is concerned. So about 3,900 odd kind of levels could be seen for this one. Infosys, 7.5% lower is something that is being indicated in the pre-opening trade. We'll keep a watch over this one. 1372 for Infosys as of now. Let's also look at Reliance Industries and see how that is poised. 7% lower, 2727. We'll continue to watch out for how the stocks will be moving at this point in time. Let's look at some of the other stocks which are on positive brokerage houses radar to see whether there is an uptick there. On Exide Batteries, let's look at that one. On Zomato, let's look at that stock as well. On Dixon Technologies, let's look at these particular stocks to see how the markets are opening there. 0.5% lower. So, of course, it's coming under the sell-off pressure at this point in time. The Nifty slipping below 21,900 as of now in the pre-opening trade as well. Zomato, 2% down, 188 currently in the pre-opening trade. 1.8% down, 7700 on Dixon Technologies. Let's look at the Nifty Bank and the banking counters. HDFC Bank. Let's also look at ICICI Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank to see how the banking stocks are shaping up in the pre-opening trade. The heaviest weighted index, HDFC Bank, 1401, 7.7% lower in trade is what is being indicated as of now. Let's look at ICICI Bank, 3% lower, 1069. All of this is indicative of the kind of move. Some sanity prevailing right now. We are back above the 22,000 mark as far as the Nifty is concerned. 273 points lower. 22,248 right now, over a percent lower, 22,271. So somewhat of stability coming back into the markets as of now. Let's get Ratnesh into the conversation. Ratnesh, very good morning to you. Good to have you with us. This does not look very good as far as the pre-opening trade is concerned. How are you looking at the markets, and what would your advice be in case this does get reflected in the opening levels on the Nifty and across the board today?
It is more than expected reaction, but I believe that somehow it will settle some. I don't think so. Market will should open that much lower, but if it did open that much lower, I think once again I'm repeating that it could be the good opportunity because we have seen recent in the past so many wars like the Russian war, Hamas war, and we even in our Indian war. So despite that we are at trading today at all-time high. So I believe that this could be the knee-jerk reaction if it open that much down that around the 200 point if we settle that much level. So I believe that 22,200 and 21,800 will be the good support. So the investor should not panic in this kind of a situation and let the settle market 5, 10, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then we should take the call for the today trading.
Okay, let's also welcome Dharmesh Kant. He's the head of equity research at Cholamandalam Securities. He's joining us now. Dharmesh ji, very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us on Business Today TV. You know, of course, over the weekend, the kind of developments we have seen, the markets are indicating that in the pre-opening trade with the loss of about 189 points odd. How are you looking at the market setup now? We were enjoying the pre-election rally up until thus far and the record high levels that were being seen on number of indices along with the benchmark indices as well. Where do we go from here? Because on the one side, there is a constant pressure from the geopolitical tensions. On the other hand, we are also looking at positive earnings that are coming about from domestically. So how does one really go about in the markets going forward?
Yes. I think market will now be more or less a range bound with the pre-opening which was indicated to today should be at the start. I mean 600 point down should be the lower limit of this range, and upside is getting restricted to say 22,500 or so. So the trending view which we are having that all declines were being bought into, and it was a constant higher high kind of a pattern will be restricted till the time elections results are due. Though the domestic cues as far as earnings and business update is concerned are conducive, but this geopolitical development should not be looked in a lighter vein. And earlier historical evidence that wars are being bought into. Definitely, any war is being bought into, but at which level you are going to buy is more important. And I think there are further legs to the downside because this time what is happening is they are not reacting. Even Iran did not react. They are responding to the issues, and this is likely to be there. I mean, commodity inflation we have already seen. The prices are already been rising, and if this leads to further inflation, will be bad for the entire operating margin cycle. And anyways, we are at the higher interest rate curve, so this may see a further uptick. So I think weighing the positives and negatives are sitting on a higher balance, but it's contained. So as of now, be prepared for a range bound kind of an activity, maybe 21,500 to 22,500 is the range in which Nifty is likely to oscillate.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have the first numbers which are slightly sensible, but pain nevertheless. 180 points lower on the Nifty, 22,340 for you. This is the number that I have in front of me. TCS is flat at the moment, but the pain is visible in NSE 500, and these are all selling pressures that is right there in front of you. SGVN trying to open 8% lower, 120. Medanta trying to open 7% lower, 1300. NBC trying to open 6% lower, 125. RVNL 6% lower, 244. Rights 6% lower, 655. I can go on with the list, but this is a gap down. Remember, most likely you will see the Nifty moving up from current levels of 22,390. Only time will tell. But let's get Dharmesh ji into the conversation. Good morning to you, Dharmesh ji. Any view that you will have on TCS's margin expansion and the very nice profit and sales number that the company has declared for the first quarter?
Good morning, Sailji. I mean, TCS number is a mixed bag. It depends on which side of the numbers you want to look at it. So order wins has been good. Margins were definitely much better than what the expectation was. But if you look at the internals, the numbers were not that great because the BFSI continues to struggle. So there is no stability out there as far as bottom of the BFSI down cycle is concerned. At the same time, telecommunication and communication per se did not do well. North America has not been doing well. Europe and other parts of the market did pick up. So what this does is actually it places a bottom for the stock price movement as far as TCS is concerned. So good part is there should not be further downside on the stock based on the company's economic growth prospect. However, the upside also seems to be limited. I think one more quarter people would like to look into till a clear visibility emerges. So headline numbers does look interesting, but internals are not that encouraging. So again, like I said about market, TCS also seems to be stuck in a zone, but with limited downside. So for value buyers, investors, I think they can still look at buying it, though it's a bit expensive at current levels. But 4400, 4500 from 1 year, horizon does look likely on the target price for TCS.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, what we'll also do is we'll do a small detour into the NSE 500. Sakshi, if you look at the advanced decline on the NSE 500, I've never seen it so bad. So about 18 stocks are in the green. Only 18 stocks are in the green as far as NSE 500 are concerned. About 482 in the red. My understanding is that you've had a gap down. We'll wait for the market to settle for the first 15 minutes, see the size of the candle, and then maybe take a view on the Nifty. This is not a market to go short at the opening quote. That is one of the most important understandings that one should have. Let's look at FNO. The advanced decline on the FNO is equally bad. You have only 3 plus 3, 6 plus 2, 8 stocks out of 182 stock futures in the green, and they are dominated by news events. There are two metal counters. Hindalco 2.7% higher, National Aluminium 2% higher, ONGC, which has a Jeffries report coming out and a very strong target of 300 upwards, is at 269. Excites actually spoken about 401. There is an FPO open on Idea Cellular, therefore Vedant and Hindustan Aeronautics. So either the theme is metals on the long side, or you have two news driven counters, which are Exide and ONGC. Coming to you, Ratnesh, would you have a view on Exide, now 400?
Yeah, Exide is my opinion. I say that it is we have seen after a long consolidation, we have seen the breakout. So I believe that there is a good opportunity that we can see some more good run up in this stock. Still, there is opportunity like for the today trading session.
Ratnesh,
We
the
can.
question was for you.
You can hear me?
Yes, Ratnesh, we can hear you.
Yeah. So as I have,
Please.
we can hear you.
yeah. So I was telling that exciting is my opening call, so that I can see that as I'm telling you, continue that we have seen that after 2-3 year long consolidation breakout in the Excite, it was not performing within Excite industry. But now it is it has given the good breakout with the good volume. So I believe that there is a still chance that we can see that 20% or 10%, 15% upside from this level. So buy any dip is a good opportunity for the buy, and this could be the good level around the 380, 390 will be the good level for the buy, and the upside target will remain like 430, 450 in the short term.
Okay, let's also look at one or two counters that were in the news, that we have discussed also. Senco Gold, the company has reported good set of earnings. Company achieved 28% year-on-year growth. The stock has shot up in the early morning trade. Very far and few between stocks that we are looking at. It's Senco and not Sanco Industries. It's SENCO that we are talking about, PCR. So Senco Gold is reacting to the stock, to the earnings this time around. It's reported a full year growth, revenue growth, which is a 28% surge, and therefore you can see 6.5% surge, 852. Dharmesh ji, on the one hand, we are looking at bullion prices, rising and shooting through the roof. On the back of such encouraging data, would you be looking at jewelry makers like Senco?
I mean, all jewelry makers reported a good set of numbers, be it Titan, be it Kalyan, be it Senco. And because the value price has gone up for the same vintage of the jewelry, I think this trend is likely to continue because if you look at from asset allocation perspective and geopolitical issues getting up, and now even retail investors or HNI investors are becoming very smarter. So just over the weekend, a few of my friends and we were just having a chat. Everybody was buying some sort of a jewelry. So I think for when stepping into a marriage season, this trend is likely to continue. So Q1 for this FY25 is likely to be much better for all jewelry makers. Senco, Kalyan, Titan, all are likely to do well. Titan remains the top pick out there, and maybe Senco is also a value buy along with Thangamlai Jewelers.
Okay, so that's as far as Senco is also concerned. Ratnesh, I want to ask you, again, we are looking at the commodity-based spaces, metals, oil and gas, some upticks coming in despite the overall muted trend that we are looking into the markets. Would you look at these spaces as the safer haven for trade today?
Yeah, definitely. Metal index is doing very well, especially stocks. So there is some stocks which I like to mention. First, the Incopper. Incopper is the brand in the F&O, but we have seen the good rounding bottom formation at the lower level, and this is a huge breakout after the 2000, the 2021. So I can see that we can see the good upside in the Incopper in the near term. So I can see the target around the 440 to 450. So any dip could be the good buying opportunity around the 340, 350 is a good level with the stop loss 310. But I like to once again mention this is a ban in the F&O, so trading only in the cash market.
Right, sir. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have the first opening quotes as far as Monday is concerned. Remember, the Nifty is starting on a back foot, 165 points lower, 22,364. Let's look at how the Nifty is behaving as far as the top losers are concerned. Tata Consumer 1.6% lower, 1130. Let's look at the most active counters. I want to see TCS. 0.5% higher. This is very interesting. 4,019 for you. Remember, we are looking at a strong EBITDA margin. We are looking at a strong deal flow, and we are looking at a very strong fourth quarter profit as well as top line. HDFC Bank is opened 1% lower, 1503. Reliance is 0.5% lower, 2922. Let's look at Infosys, 0.5% lower, 1478. The Nifty still 22,350, down about 160 points. 400 points lower on the Nifty Bank, 135 points lower on the Nifty IT Index, 34,850, and the NSE 500, the broadest measure that we have, ladies and gentlemen, is the top loser, which means that the broader sentiment has taken a very, very sharp hit. 20,500 on NSE 500, 236 points lower. Remember, this is the top loser. This is not looking good. Let's look at the FNO space and look at the most active counters here. Metals are taking it away. National Aluminium 2.7% higher, 183.35. Hindalco 2.4% higher, 1613. ONGC 2% higher, 270. What are the top losers here as far as FNO is concerned? Tata Chemicals 3% lower, 1113. Z Entertainment 2.4% lower, 143. Apollo Tyres 2.5% lower, 469.30. BPCL, Sun Pharma, Gujarat Gas. We'll shift focus immediately to NSE 500 and look at the top losers. So power is taking out on its chin. Torrent Power is the top loser, 5% lower, 1503. Spark, which is the advanced research unit of Sun Pharma, is down 5%, 387. NBCC, Suzlon, Chalet Hotels, GSFC, IRB, these are the stocks that are losing ground. What we'll do is, ladies and gentlemen, we'll touch base with Ratnesh and ask him his view on the Nifty. Down 185 points now, Ratnesh. Would you step in to buy or would you stay away?
As I said that first 15-10 minutes we should just wait and watch, let the dust settle. So I believe still just wait and watch. I think the 22,200 will be the good support as in option data also showing the same. So I believe that just wait some more time, and the 22,250 if it comes, then we should take the risk of around the 50 point with the stop loss. That could be the chance that from there we can see the some kind of the recovery, but not the very fast recovery, but maybe that we can see the around from that level we can take the some call.
Okay. Right. There is one stock that I wanted to mention, and that is Aster DM that I am pointed out in the stocks to watch list. Let's look at the stock. The stock is up in double digits, 14-15% odd. That's the kind of move that we are seeing on this one. This is after the company's board has declared special dividend of 118 rupees per share, and therefore you see a very sharp move coming in on Aster DM. Dharmesh ji, your view on this company?
Such I particularly don't track this company, but though they have undergone, demerger, business reorganization vertical wise, so that's good for the company. But overall, if you look at the healthcare space, looks very interesting, like Apollo Hospital and all. Looks to be interesting bet at the current juncture, and business has been doing well for the entire healthcare space. So, when I speak about healthcare space, I am particularly pointing to hospitals, and there Apollo Hospitals remains our top pick. We are not looking at diagnostic centers as a buy option currently.
Okay. Would you have a call on Aster DM at all, Ratnesh? Do you track this stock? Technically, how has this been looking?
STDM, if you look at it was in consolidation mode, and on the daily chart, we observed the rounding bottom formation. We have given the breakout this stock. So, but today, I think there is a huge gap up in the stock because of the some positive news. So, one should for the fresh entry, one should wait. But someone holding this stock, I think if the stop loss around the 510 level, and hold this stock for the coming just target around the 570 and 580. So, but for fresh entry, I think one should wait.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a detour in the market. This is not looking good. The Nifty is now close to 200 points lower, 22,325. The Nifty bank is around 48,000, now dropping 536 points. What we'll do is I'll show you the advanced decline. It's just not looking good. Only 91 stocks are in the green on the National Stock Exchange. I have never seen this kind of a worse advanced decline. 1,881 stocks are in the red. Needless to say, all 19 indices that we track for you are showing losses. Which are the biggest ones? Small cap 100, 3% lower. Out of 100 stocks, 97 are in the red. Media index 3% lower. The PSU banking index 2.9% lower. All 12 stocks in the red. The Alpha 50 index on the Nifty is down 2.8%. All 50 stocks are in the red. The mid cap 100 index 97 are in the red, and the selling, ladies and gentlemen, is accelerating. 22,300 for you as far as the Nifty is concerned. About 545 points down on the Nifty bank. I think it is only the IT index that is showing some smart moves. Let's analyze this one, and like I had said in my opening comments, it's the IT index that I'm only interested in today, and that's driven by, ladies and gentlemen, TCS and Infosys. TCS now a percent higher, 4,038. Infosys 0.2% higher, 1488. Coming to you, Ratnesh, a very quick view on TCS. Are you going to buy this?
Now, if you look at the TCS chart, we have seen recently in the correction from the higher level. And now, after the result, I think the stock will stabilize somewhere around the 33,900 to 50,900 level. So definitely, if investor for the midterm, definitely it could be a good buy because the risk reward ratio here is in the favor. So keep the stop loss 3950 for the target 4130.
Okay, what we'll do is I'll just show you the option call of 4,040 on TCS. This is the 4,040 option call for TCS expiring on April 12th at 75 rupees. We'll keep this in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Strong move coming in on TCS, as also Exide. That's because of a very good brokerage report that has come in on that one. Exide fresh record high 411. Ratnesh, what would you do with Exide? Chase this.
Yeah, definitely. This was our morning call. So Exide is still looking good. As I say that 430, 450 is the near-term target. So definitely one should hold this stock with the stop loss around the 390, 395 for the target 430, 440 in the midterm.
Okay. Well, of course, in the FNO space, what's holding up into the green is apart from Exide, Hindalco, you have Vodafone, you have ONGC, and you also have Nalco, TCS. These are some of the stocks that are pulling up in trade in an otherwise weak side of the market. Infosys and HCL Tech also join in the move in trade today. Nestle is up and about as well from the FMCG pack. Dharmesh, to you, IT space right now showing some kind of a ticks on the higher side. How would you go about it, and would you continue to buy looking at what TCS has given out in terms of earnings? Would it be an indicative of stronger moves coming in for the others as well this week?
I think the trade is definitely on for other IT stocks as well. So this uptick in TCS, whether it will be a trending uptick and you will get a further drift of this, is not very likely. So my only apprehension at this point of IT stocks is though the downside is limited for most of them, but how much upside we will get is a difficult choice to make right now. Metals are a better bet. If you want to actually trend for next 2-3 months, I think metals are the place to be because one is the manufacturing activity across the globe has picked up, be it US, be it Germany, China, India, all has been doing well. And metal prices after a long 2 years of down cycle is seeing an upcycle as of now. And supply side disruption is there is a fear anticipation of that resurfacing. If that is the scenario, again the metal prices are going to benefit on the back of both. One is supply disruption and demand being in place. So I think better bet should be metals, and there the topics would be like Hindalco is there, Vedanta is there, Tata Steel, JSW Steel, NMDC, all as a basket one can look into buying into those. So 20-30% kind of move easily comes in the metal space. One is to be a bit of a brave heart, be prepared for down days as well. But overall, 1 month, 2 month time frame, a good decent traction is likely to be there on the stock price.
Okay. Ratnesh, would you look at the stocks in the power space like NTPC, like Power Grid, like Torrent Power, all of them which are falling in trade today? Should these dips be bought into? Because considering this space has been in the thick of action, and even now we are expecting heat waves to come in. IMD is going to be coming out with its report today, and therefore power demand is going to scale up higher again at record levels. Would that be a good dip to be bought into?
Yeah, definitely. From all these three stocks, I like to go with the NTPC because REC and PFC, we have seen some little bit stretch on the daily chart, but NTPC is still holding and outperforming the sector. So I believe that 340, 345 is the good support level. So risk reward ratio in the favor. Keep this stop loss 345, and I can see the target 380 to 390 level in the midterm.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think the worst is now over. Let's look at the Nifty IT index immediately. It is now in the green, 130 points higher, and it is primarily driven by what is happening on TCS, what is happening on Oracle Finance. The low for the index was 34683, and we are now at 35100. So it is a swing of almost 450 points. And what you immediately have to do is look at the 22,350 option call on the Nifty expiring on April 8th. I am hoping that you will see it on the screen. It is priced at 150 rupees, still down 110, but this is something that I will keep an eye out throughout the day, given the fact that the worst in terms of selling seems to be over, and 22,350 for the moment should be a support as far as today's selling pressure is concerned. Now, what makes me so optimistic? Look at the strength in TCS, 4,064 for you, still going strong. Exide Industries, we had talked about it at 408, 407. Ratnesh had pointed out it remains a buy. It is now at 419. Very strong moves coming in. A host of other indices are now moving up from day's low. Look at Maruti, day's high 12,336. Look at stocks such as L&T Mindtree. So it's basically the auto space that is running the show, and these stocks, after dipping substantially, are now recovering as far as markets are concerned. Ratnesh, coming to you, would you stick your neck out on 22,350 Nifty option call on the call side?
2,350 option call, definitely, Shailji, it could be the, that definitely but it could be the some a little bit risky trade, because definitely the value will be, that as a time value, as that day, if we did not see any kind of the recovery or some consolidation, so there could be some chance. So I believe that it is better to go the direct in the Nifty, as I mentioned, that if we get the level around 22,250 level, so that could be the good chance that just keep the stop loss of 50 points, and from there we can see the 70 to 80 points. So let the Nifty come around the 22,250 level, then we should take the any long call.
Okay, fine, ladies and gentlemen. I think today's day will be belonging to battery maker Exide Industries. 421, 5.83% higher. Sakshi, I believe you'll have the research report with you. Maybe you can repeat the major points that the analyst has made. Exide for you.
So Morgan Stanley came out with a report on Exide with an overweight call, which we had indicated before the markets hit open. They gave a target price of 485 rupees. It's already crossed for 420 now. Remember, it closed at 398 rupees on Friday, and therefore you see a sharp 6% jump right now. They believe that the company's share price could rise significantly over the next 10 years. That's the long-term view that Morgan Stanley has shared. They also believe that the company can become a leading player in the battery cell localization. They've also seen that the government support for made in India EVs could actually play in companies' favor going forward from here. They also believe the strong auto and industrial customer tie-ups, early mover advantage could play in companies' favor going forward from here. And the Hyundai Kia contract validates the capabilities that Exide has, the news that came last week, and there could be a likely multi-year contract, and therefore they are betting big on Exide Industries. So that's the kind of move that we are looking at on Exide. Just wanted to reiterate that brokerage house report for all of you viewers to understand what is behind this sharp surge today. Along with Exide, Dharmesh, where else are you keeping your focus as far as the auto ancillary space is doing? We've seen the EV theme play out very well for stocks like Electra, Green Tech, and for KPIT Tech. How would you really look at some of these players now? We're seeing some dips today. Would you be a big buyer into the dips as far as some of these auto ancillary names are concerned?
Yeah, from the technology point of view, I think one should be looking at auto ancillary space as of now, and there I think KPIT technology or Tata Technologies stands better off. And if you want to have a pure play on the auto ancillary, JBM Auto stands good because it has a mix of both EV vehicle as well as the ancillary part. Apart from that, Minda Corp, Minda and all, they have been doing pretty well, but I think the stock prices have moved up quite sharply. And with this commodity inflation picking up, because see, silver and all other components which are used majorly in EV auto components which are being manufactured, so this will definitely hurt them in the longer time frame, maybe in at the figure of Q1 FY25 or Q2. So most of the upside price action is already being priced in. So having said that, the better way to play auto ancillary from the EV angle would be KPIT Technology, Tata Technologies, JBM Auto as a pure play, and maybe a Bharat Force. So these are the four topics from that space from our house.
Okay, keeping those four top picks of yours in note, what about you, Ratnesh? Auto ancillary space, which is the best stock on charts? Apart from Exide that you've already given your view on, where else can one really play this theme?
Apart from this auto ancillary, like I believe the Sharda motor is outperforming the indices, and we have seen the good here the upward gap area. So once it tested like upward gap area, will always act as the support. So 1500 is the good support level for the Sharda motor, and it is outperforming as I mentioned that. So 1450 will be the good stop loss, and 1500 will be the point. And coming days target we can see like around the 1600 to 1650.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 22,300 is gone. Now this belongs to the bears. 229 points lower. The bank Nifty is now 600 points lower. The IT index has given up all its gains, now down 98 points, 34,927. The first 15-minute candle has formed, ladies and gentlemen, as far as the Nifty is concerned, and it is not looking good at all as far as bulls are concerned. This is a pain point now. Across the board, I see the color red, and it's more or less now, how should I say, a day which will belong to the bears. 222 points lower on the Nifty. Let us see how long 22,300 or thereabouts continues. We'll again look at all of the PSU theme. Let's look at stocks which are in the red because of the panic that is there in the market. Within the PSU space, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of percentage losses, NBCC is 7.6% lower, 123.60. IFCI is 7% lower, 41.85. NLC India 7% lower, 280. I often tell you that we track 78 PSU stocks for you. Ladies and gentlemen, only 3 are in the green, and them being Dredging Corporation 3.3% higher, ONGC, which is again news led. Jeffries coming out with a very strong report on that and a very high target, 270, almost 1.5% higher. And of course the newly listed Bharti Hexacom that had a stunning debut on Friday is at the moment flat. So it's a negative day, and it is now accelerating. 22,290 for you as far as the index is concerned. Let me just take a very cursory look at the advanced decline ratio in the NSE 500. Sakshi, 482 stocks are in the red. As far as Nifty is concerned, 50 stocks are in the red. So the entire index now slipping entirely in the red. Sakshi.
Okay, so looking at this kind of a dip coming in, Dharmeshji, where exactly would you be keeping your focus? Would you be looking for value in the stocks from the railway defense pack that had a sharp run up, or would you look completely other places which have not performed thus far and maybe standing to perform in this weak set of the market?
Sakshi, I think the better way is to look at the big picture, and the big picture in the defense railway infra stays intact. So any decline out there is a right opportunity to get into the value. As far as value is concerned, there's hardly any value in the near term. Now the value has to be defined from a period of 3 to 5 years kind of a thing, because valuations are still very high. So in defense, Hindustan Aeronautics, HAL looks very interesting, and they recently have, Government of India has given them an option to apply for a tender of 65,000 odd crores for MCA type 1 kind of combat aircraft. So the order size is very big. They have 3 months to reply to that. RVNL, again, the railway infra continues to be doing well. So the order flow is intact. And the third basket, which we earlier spoke about, is the metal basket. So metal, given whether it is a supply disruption or the demand-led expansion, both are looking positive and constructive for that basket. So these are the 3 spaces one can look into: metal from a trading perspective, defense and railway infra from an investment perspective. This decline should be used as a staggered approach, because I do think personally that this decline is here to stay, and it's likely to extend over a period of next 3 months.
Okay. Ratnesh, what about you? Would you also be keen on such spaces itself, or are you looking at and tracking some other stocks that you can highlight in this dip one can look at?
Question to me.
Yes, Ratnesh, to you.
Can you just repeat? I just missed it.
So I just wanted to ask you, where else are you looking for value in this kind of a dip in the markets that we are seeing? We've discussed a lot of metal spaces, a lot of power spaces, auto ancillaries. Where else do you feel that investors should be looking at for buying this dip?
Yeah, so as I mentioned that definitely the metal sector is really not for the 1 year or the 6 months. That this is the some structurally changing. So this the metal sector will perform like the coming the 3 4 years in the. So I believe that every day should be the good opportunity in the metal sector, especially in copper and the Tata Steel and the cell. This is the three stocks which I am looking for the. If anyone want to invest in the metal sector, these stocks, these three counters can do this.
Okay. Got that. You know, some
Okay,
others.
ladies and gentlemen,
Yes, sure.
let's again. Yeah, please continue, Sakshi. Continue.
So, you know, just few stocks from the, gainers as far and few between stocks that are moving up in the broader sense of the market. Transformers and rectifiers, that continues to inch higher in trade. Remember, it came out with fantastic set of numbers. Brokerage houses reports were positive. That stock inches up higher in trade. You also have some stocks, like Omkar Specialty Chemicals. Remember, chemical space is something that started to pick up pace over the last week. That's something that is showing some traction at this point in time. Laboratory stocks had started to move up, so you again have Newland Laboratories kind of stocks that are moving up, along with the other stocks like Aster DM that we have discussed. Real estate space continues to buzz. So you have Purvankara, that's been a top performer of last week, that continues to inch up higher. You also have Ashiana Housing that also reported good set of numbers, that's also inching up higher. So let me ask Ratnesh, to you on the real estate pack, anything that you can spot?
Yeah, definitely. We have seen the good run up in the real estate, and still they are outperforming. So the one stock which I am liking, which just start right now in this sector, like Purva, we have seen the good run up in the last week, but I still believe there is a more steam left in this counter because it was underperforming. Now it has started outperforming. So like somewhere around the 310, 320 is the good entry level for this counter, and the 270 will be the good stop loss for the target. I can sense 370 to 380.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are now almost at 9:40. So the first 20-25 minutes of trade is done. Let me start with the good news. Let's look at Senco Gold. Strong set of earnings. The counter is about to hit a record high and is up 10.4% on very strong volumes. I see somewhere like 64 crores worth of transactions that have taken place, which is interesting. The all-time high for Senco Gold is somewhere like 890. 1 second, I'll just check that. Yes, 897. We had seen this on 27th of February. Most likely that will be taken out. What else is moving from days low towards higher territory? I'd rather not stick my neck out, but I'll mark Bajaj Finance at 7100 rupees. It's testing its 200-day DMA. Let us see how that goes. And ladies and gentlemen, for the moment we have stocks in the pharma space which are at days high, even though they may be in the red. Let's look at Natco Pharma. This is interesting. 974. It will come on your screens. The low for today was 951 and we have 974 right there in front of you. This is something to be looked at. I can also mark Gland Pharma. So as you can understand that the market is completely defensive and it's the pharma space that is coming into action. The low is 1712 and now at 1742, days high, even though it might be in the red. Anand Rathi Wealth Management, almost 4,000 rupees for you. It's a very strong recovery from days low, which is 3855. So you can see how the smart money is moving in, and these are the stocks that are responding. I'll also look at Bharti Airtel. I think it's in the green. 1223. This is interesting. 0.2% higher. Ratnesh, would you stick your neck out on Bharti Airtel? Out of 50 Nifty shares, only one is in the green. Bharti Airtel.
Yeah, Bharti Airtel is, continue. We have seen the continuous outperformance in the stock. Still, it's not showing any very so much weakness in the on the chart, and still it's holding the good level. So I believe that 1200 is the good level. So if someone holding this stock, keep the stop loss 1180, and I think once we have once this stock start trading about 1240, we can see the fresh breakout, and the stock can move up to the 1300 level. So still one can hold this stock with the stop loss.
Okay. Well, markets are slipping away, 232 points lower in trade as far as the Nifty is concerned, 22,288. In fact, of the 50 stocks on the Nifty, 46 stocks are in the red. Of the Sensex, of the 30 stocks, 28 stocks are in the red. We're also looking at Bank Nifty, where all the stocks are in the red as of now as far as Bank Nifty is concerned. So all 12 shares are down in the red. The index is down by 1.2%, 600 points lower in trade as well. It's the PSU banking index that's been slipping more than the others, and it's now a downtick of almost 2.5% for this one. If you look at the PSU banking stocks, Dharmeshji, this has been a winning space up until so far. For all the viewers and the investors, how would you really look at the PSU banking story now? Would you be looking at some of the stocks over here? Okay, I think Dharmeshji has left. We have Ratnesh. Ratnesh, I'll put this question to you. PSU banks, where exactly would you be looking to buy the dip?
There is a two counter which I like to go first, definitely in the PSU. SBI is the leader in the PSU, so I believe that this stock is now structure has changed, because we have seen a long consolidation in this stock. Now we have seen the breakout in the month of the February. Now consolidation is going on, so I believe that 740 in the near term, and the 740 is the 730 is the range in the near term. One should investor keep this level, and if get any level in this dip, 740 730, it will be a good buying opportunity with the stop loss around the 700 for, and I can sense the target around 780 to 825 in the near term. And the second one is the Canara Bank. Canara Bank has seen a good continuously high formation, and I still believe there is some still left. So around the 570 560 will be the good entry level, with the stop loss 540 for the target 650.
Okay, so that's as far as the PSU banking names are concerned, where Ratnesh is placing his bets as of now. Some green ticks still remaining on as far as the oil and gas space is concerned, especially on stocks like ONGC. That's up 2% higher, followed by Oil India. That's also up into the green, 0.8% higher in trade. Ratnesh, would you look at ONGC and tell us how do you really view the charts? There is a very positive brokerage house report that's come in with a target price of 390 rupees. Jefferies has initiated its coverage on the stock right now, and despite the stock having moved up already in the last few months odd, where do you see technical levels headed?
Yeah, ONGC, we can see that some consolidation is going on after the good run up, but still there is no weakness on the chart. So I believe definitely 260 is the good support level or the stop loss level. I can say that above the 275 we can see the fresh breakout, and the target will come around the 285 290. So just wait for the 4-5 rupees, let the breakout come above the 275. Then one can take the initiate fresh long with the stop loss 265 for the target 290.
Okay, as long as we are looking at ONGC, even Oil India, the smaller peer, which is about 7-8% of India's oil output, has also moved marginally in the green. The low was 595.95. It is now at 616. I think 0.1% in the green. So this is something that needs to be mentioned. What else is moving? Look at how money is buying into specialty chemicals, and the fact that the worst might be behind us. I just like to mark Bayer Crop Science at about 55.25. Bayer Crop is now up about 1%. that's not exactly the story. The story is even better. The low was 52.30, and from then on, it's recovered 300 points from its day's low. So smart money is buying this dip, and this is really interesting. Lots of stocks are at day's high, even though they are in the green. Let me just mention a couple of names for you, which you might find interesting. We'll start with the Nifty Pharma Index. Ladies and gentlemen, while in the red, the index has moved up substantially at about 18,672 for you. It might seem in the red, but it has moved from a low of 18,551, and there is almost in the how should I say, in the broader pharma universe, let me tell you stocks that are moving in the green. Let's look at Lupin, 0.6% higher, 1631. Glenmark 0.3% higher, 1055. JB Chemicals and Pharmaceuticals 1.3% higher, 1822. I think JB Chemicals is something that is not only at day's high, this is also at month's high. So while at least I'm not doing any technical checks, I'm just saying that quality is being purchased as far as the intraday lows are concerned, and there are decent bounce backs happening. The Nifty's intraday low is 22,262. That so far is the lowest. Remember, there's a very strong support at 22,220. Let's see whether that holds or not. But for the moment, I think that the initial pain that was there in the market has been absorbed. Sakshi.
Right. I also wanted to look at two more stocks, which I'll want Ratnesh to tell us. One is Polycab. That's ticking higher in the F&O space, 0.7% higher as of now. Is there a trade that you would look here?
Yeah, definitely. In the Polycab, we have seen the smart recovery after some corporate, there was some negative news, and we have seen some sell off. After that, we have seen the continuously smoothly recovery in the Polycab. So there is a little bit supply in this stock around the 50. You can say the 5370 or the 5400 zone. So for the fresh entry, I will wait for this level to cross the 5370 level. Then I will take the fresh entry for the target 5500 level. So just wait for some time, 5370 let the cross, and then after that keep the stop loss 5340 for the target 55.
Okay. The other space I want to draw your attention to is we were discussing the oil and gas space, so the gas majors, Mahanagar Gas, Indraprastha Gas, both are also pulling up in trade. How are you looking at this move, and is this going to be sustainable?
Now, if you look at the first MGL, the MGL was we have seen the good run up in this stock after the breakout around the 1160, 1170 level. So after that, now we are seeing the consolidation, but still I believe that there is some supply at the MGL at high level 1490, 1485 level. So I will wait for the fresh entry. Let this level cross, then I will take the fresh call. Till that, I will wait. If someone holding this stock, I will say that keep the partial booking in this stock and keep the stop loss around for the rest position 1400.
Let's look at some stocks such as CG Power, ladies and gentlemen. I'll request the PCR to fire that stock in front of you. We've seen a very interesting development. This could be a swing trade in the making on the long side. The low is 479, and at the moment it's at about 490. Coming to you, Ratnesh ji, the stock has corrected very sharply from 560 and now showing a decent support level at 480. Would you stick your neck out?
CG Power, I can see that some little bit stretch from the short-term moving averages or the long-term moving averages. But yeah, definitely it has come the good support level, which is the 470 level. So risk reward ratio for the swing trade, as you mentioned, that so it is in the favor. So keep the stop loss 470 for the target of 510.
Okay, let me mark two more stocks. Sakshi, you had pointed about Senco Gold. Look at CSB Bank. They have a huge gold loan portfolio. They are doing extremely well as far as charts are concerned. In fact, it's at a fresh weekly high. CSB Bank trading at about 402 rupees. This is something worth noting. This is the highest that we have seen since Jan of 2024. So that would make it a 4-month high. Ratnesh ji, CSB Bank.
Yeah, on the daily chart, we are observing some rounding bottom formation, and it has taken support around the 200 moving averages. So I believe that this is the definitely is a good buy. It could be the good buy. The target will come around the 425. The recent high 425. After that 450 we can see. So keep the stop loss around the 380, and I think the fresh entry also can initiate at this level with the stop loss 380 for the target which I mentioned.
Okay, the reason why I ask to take a look at CSB Bank is twofold. Gold prices at a record high. Catholic Syrian Bank's main business is gold financing. Therefore, their inventories will be revalued. That's a very big positive. As also strong numbers coming in from Senco Gold. So it's a bit of a rub-off that's happening on CSB Bank. And the good part is that today's volume is very, very substantial. We've seen a volume of 6,73,000 shares in the first half an hour of trade. This is almost 2 times the 5-day average of 3,25,000. So price has boomed and volume has boomed. And some time ago I had marked bear crop signs. Bear crop signs from then on has also gained another 100 points. 5794 for you is the latest intraday high as far as pricing is concerned. Sakshi, stocks like Gas Authority of India are now in the green, 202.85, almost 0.2% higher.
Absolutely. So the entire oil and gas space is picking up in action. Along with IGL, MGL, now even GAIL has picked up pace, and one can really look at the kind of move that's coming in the F&O space. It's up by 0.7% odd. So one really needs to keep an eye out on this entire space for today. On GAIL, would you have a view, and do you see the recovery shaping up for the entire space now? Ratnesh?
Now, the GAIL definitely is one of my favorite counter, and it is really outperforming the counter, but a little bit stretched from the some main key averages. So I believe that for the fresh entry, just wait for the some good level around the 190, 185. It is a good level for the fresh entry. If we get that level, it will be the good buy opportunity. And keep the stop loss around the one from that level. Keep the stop loss 170. I believe that there is a still good upside still left, and we can see the target around the 250 to 240 in the near term.
All right. Well, on that note, thanks a lot, Ratnesh, for being with us on the show and discussing all these stocks and ideas and helping our viewers really navigate through this very, very volatile first 45 minutes of trade. The sell-off is ebbing a bit. 198 points lower on the Nifty, 22,330 right now. But the volatility index is definitely higher by about 7% and therefore you do see, the markets really shifting its foot at this point in time. When we talk about the Nifty Bank as of now, that's the one that's down by over 1%. It's the broader markets that have lost even more. The mid and the small caps are now down by about 1.5% and almost 1.9% respectively. We are seeing all the sectors down into the red, pulled down by media, small caps, PSU banks, mid caps, FMCG and the realty spaces for today. Of course, the green ticks emerging in the oil and gas space and the metal space, and some ticks coming in from the IT pack as well. So TCS is one heavyweight counter that's now picking up even further pace. 1.8% of an uptick can be seen on this one. and 4,033 is what it is trading at right after the earnings and positive brokerage house reports. So recovery coming in on this one. HCL Technologies has also come into the green, 0.15% of a move. Infosys is flat with a positive bias now, 0.02% higher in trade. So watch out for the IT pack today. Among the oil and gas space, you need to keep an eye out on ONGC. That's now up almost 3% in trade. And along with this, you need to keep an eye out on Hindalco and several other metal space stocks like Nalco. You also can keep an eye out on Hind Copper, for example. These are the stocks that you need to keep an eye out on, and the oil and gas space stocks which we have discussed. From the Nifty, again keep an eye out on Titan, that's come into the green as well. We were talking about Senco Gold, and the leader in the jewelry space is also now pulling up, and Bharti Airtel, as was pointed out by Shell too, it's into the green now, 0.04% higher in trade. So that's the kind of move we are spotting on the Nifty. As far as the F&O space is concerned, Exide batteries that we've discussed, 4% higher, leads the space over here. Vodafone is up and about. ONGC, Hindalco, Nalco, Indus Towers, Mahanagar Gas, IGL, GAIL, and also Vedanta is now pulling up in trade as of now. So that's as far as the first hour of trade is concerned. We'll wrap it up at that, but do stay tuned onto Business Today TV, because today is a day when you need to monitor the markets even more closely, and we will continue to get you more videos with respect to the earnings interaction and also addressing your queries. Remember, today is the day when we kickstart our new show, Daily Calls, at 12 noon, where you can join us and ask your queries. And in case today's fall has triggered some stop losses for you, do speak to us, send us your queries. You can send it on social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also on our YouTube channel. And of course, there is a WhatsApp number that we've been flashing all across. You can send us your queries there as well, and we will make sure to incorporate as many calls as we can. Until then, many thanks for tuning in.
A constituency that has never re-elected the same MP